Hello, we are going to do our next root word. I know everybody's very excited. Our next one is a PED. Okay, so if you think back to things, you may have heard some of these words and you may already have a good guess of what it might mean. So if you do, that's great. You may be right, you may be wrong, but it's good to be thinking. Before you begin, you should cut your note cards out. It's easier. Some of you have been turning things in with the notes for the wrong word on the wrong side, and you'll need a pen or pencil. I'm not going to give you all the answers, but I will, we'll be talking through and you'll be able to fill some of them in just from this video. Note that this time the words are not on the back of the cards. You need to write them in yourself. We are every quarter going to make you guys do these a little bit more independently. And so first quarter, we gave you the words and we gave you all the stuff you needed to fill in. And second quarter, now you just need to write all the words in. So I think you can handle it. I hope you can handle it. If you can't handle it, I have concerns. So let's start with this root PED. Okay, PED by itself is not a word. You can't PED. I can't have a PED. It's not a thing. But it does have a little chunk of meaning. And what it means is foot. Okay, it can also mean walk because that's what one can do with a foot or many feet. But at its very base, PED just means walk. Okay, so let's get into our words. The first one we're going to do is the most basic that I could find in our list because it's just our root and then it is just a prefix with it. So if you think back to what the word by means from when we did our prefixes, it means two. So if I put these two words together, I'm like PED means foot, 2 foot, 2 feet. Okay, so what a biped is, it is something that or someone that walks on 2 feet. A human is a biped, okay? Most of us have 2 feet, and so that's what we are. A quadruped, a dog is a quadruped, because if you think of quad meaning 4, quadrupeds have 4 feet, but bipeds only have 2. Next one is almost as simple, but it's not as literal. Okay, if something is literal, it means that it is exactly what it says. So if you think back to the word cent, or excuse me, the prefix cent, it means 100. So a centipede technically means an insect that has 100 feet. Now, scientifically, a centipede does not actually have 100 feet, I do not think. A millipede, which means 1,000 feet, does not actually have 1,000 feet. Okay, these are they're not as literal. But you can look at a centipede and be like, yeah, gross, that's got a lot of feet. So somebody called it a centipede. Now we're going to get a little bit more abstract, okay, with our use of the word PED, the root PED. So impede. So think back to what you know about the prefix im or in. So it means like not or the opposite or to somehow negate. And then PED, in this case, means like walk or walking forward, making progress. So if you negate the forward progress of someone, you get in their way, you impede them. Okay, so think about how you are going to use this root word PED and how you're going to use the word foot or feet or walk. We'll let you use the word walk in your definition. Okay, because now impede doesn't just mean to get in the way of someone's walking forward. I can impede your progress in school by not letting you do your homework. But it all kind of goes back to that idea of getting in the way and stopping someone from making forward walking progress, even though we use it for much more than that. This same one, expedite, this next word kind of has that same idea. We know that X, our prefix, means like out. So if you expedite something, you walk it out. And what it's come to mean is to get something out the door really fast. So if I get expedited shipping on a package, it gets out the door really fast and I get it really fast. But it comes from like this idea that you could walk something out the door or walk it out. But now it's come to mean fast shipping. And the last one, second to last one is pedestrian. And this is probably one that a lot of people have already heard, and you know what a pedestrian is. Many of you are pedestrians when you come to school. And if you think about what that might mean, somebody who is a pedestrian is somebody who is traveling by walking, okay, because ped means foot or walk. And our last one, this is the one that you do not have to do you don't have to use the word walk or foot in your definition because it's really, really obscure and just kind of tough to wrap your brain around, is the word pedigree. Okay, so if we're talking about pedigree, we're usually talking about like an animal. Like they talk about this a lot when it comes to show dogs. Okay, so animals that are bred to be a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way. It's like the history of like the genetic history and the family history of a person or animals. And it's usually used in a good way. If you're talking about a dog's pedigree, you're saying like, okay, it's got, its mother and its father won all these prizes and its grandmother was this dog and it's got a really good pedigree. Okay, that just means it has a good genetic family history. All right. Now your next steps are to finish your note cards. We have not given you all of the information, but we've given you some of it. All right. Please remember that your definitions need to use the word foot, okay? Or they can use walk, that's fine, but somehow they need to include that. The exception is pedigree because that one's weird. If you can, great, but don't stress about it, all right? You need to include the part of speech, okay? If it's noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. In this case, the dictionary is pretty helpful. We don't want you copying the dictionary definitions, but if you can't remember or you can't quite tell from my explanations, look it up. In the last one, you again need to include the synonym, so a word that means the same thing, or an antonym, a word that means the opposite, or a drawing that shows us that you understand what this word means, okay? Good luck and have a wonderful rest of your day.